So I wanted to take a few minutes and give you guys an update on the car. There's a lot of boring body work that's in between getting us prepared, and so I wanted to skip all that, from the viewers and from that perspective. But the car is getting there. I think every 4 inches of this car I had to do body work on. It was really, once you got down to it, very, very rough. And as you guys remember, this car was in the ditch at a certain point. I had to do a lot just to get the body in the front to this point where it is right now. I still got a bit of a gap here that I'm going to work on, but as you can see, it's a lot better than where it was. I had to do some work here that I'm going to go ahead and respray again. This is all rattle can, and then I've gone back with 320 grit to kind of bring down some of the deeper scratches or the deeper sanding marks from I think 120. So I went with first a 40. Great. What's up, Daniel? Hey, man. I went with a 40 to cut down. These fenders took a lot of work to get all the way cut down. And I'm still working on my finalized lines right around here to make those really well defined and very arched very well. Remove the mirrors. Have things taped up because we're also going to open up these doors and get inside the door crams. That might be a tape up job that we do today because it's been sanded down, but it has not been primed yet. Did a lot of work for these back rockers here. And then the top is in progress too. Getting the sand marks down. So I resprayed this, I think 2 times at least. And then with rattle can primer filler. And then I gone back with that 320 you see over there. The top is up, and the shocks are pretty strong too because this has been up for a while, so that I can work on everything in here. And I removed the weather stripping so that we do it well. I'm going to go back in here and sand this down one more time really well. And I still have some marks in areas that I'm just still finalizing and finishing as we move around just to get it right. And this fender over here is now looking pretty darn good. It just took a lot to try to recreate and do because a lot of this is by hand. And again, it's not all finalized, but it's just about there. Again, here we had some issues down with the door at the bottom down there. And we had to really reconstruct that door because this car has actually, I think, gone through multiple attempts to do a restore. And one of the attempts was before I owned the car, and it was a really bad attempt. And so there was just a lot of excess amounts of Bondo and other fillers that we had to cut down and work on. And some of our rockers down here aren't going to be perfect right now. But I'll continue to work on those and get those straight. And again, this front fender was another fender with a lot of rust cancer that was in it that's been worked on. The gap on this side is still a little bit larger. It's kind of just one of those things. I mean, I would really love to get it perfect, but at the same point, I can't keep driving this car all the time. And to be honest with you, I need to start working on that car, which is top needs to get done here soon. There's a little bit of paint correction on the back bumper, and I got to address the interior. The interior is okay, but it's starting to show its signs of age, as this is actually a 2007. So it's just got the normal convertible wear and tear on the interior, and I want to get to the seats. I just want to clean. This car is like it's been driven. Look at the leaves. I want to start restoring and taking care of this car because this is a long-term. Both of these are, but long-term vehicle. So some of the other things I want to just mention. I want to find some wheel wells to put in here so that you don't see, or the plastic piece that goes in there. So when you're driving, you don't see straight into there. That gets on my nerves. And I got to find and place those. And then I need to tie down, again, I'm working this front spoiler area. I'm using a heat gun, and I'm kind of like warming up the polyurethane or whatever this plastic is, and reconstructing just this part right here because I want to try to reuse it if I can for now. But it's very loose, so I got to tie this down some so it doesn't move so much. There are bracket points that are behind or on the side of these fog lights, but they're not connected, and it's going to take some work. I might have to get underneath the car and do it. That's, I think, that's in after the paint job is done. Raise the car up, finish and correct that. Rest of it's just dusty. The lights are still not back in the car. They're sitting over there, but I'm setting this up here because I'm just trying to see my alignments. These will come back off and get painted individually, along with the mirrors are going to get painted individually too. And but overall, the car is really starting to take shape, and it's looking pretty good. And every time I look at it, I see a point of something I need to adjust. So that's why it's just these last little pieces. But Lolita is really starting to look good, and I really appreciate eventually being able to drive this thing. So until next time, guys, it's just an update. Take care.